Championship favourites here at home, Liverpool. A win over Ipswich today guaranteed to give them a 15-point lead at the top of the First Division. Here's Martin Tyler.
It's little more than 2 years since Liverpool unveiled Ian Rush on the First Division. Against Ipswich Town it was, and a pretty inauspicious debut too. But since then, Rush has regularly shown off his talents against today's opponents, including 2 goals earlier this season that effectively put Ipswich out of the Milk Cup. Rush and David Hodgson are blending well up front these days, as Bob Paisley names an unchanged side. Craig Johnston sufficiently recovered from a damaged knee to line up for his 100th game in the Football League. Ipswich have never won at Anfield, but manager Bobby Ferguson promises a progressive formation designed to match Liverpool numerically in midfield, and 3 genuine forwards are included: Paul Mariner, Alan Brazil and Kevin O'Callaghan, who continues to deputise for Eric Gates. Referee George Tyson of Sunderland to set the ball rolling. It's Liverpool to kick off, and courtesy of Anfield's electric blanket, the match starts on a fine surface. Ipswich bidding to become the first ever team to take 6 points off Liverpool in a season, having won 1-0 at Portman Road back in October. Still working across, Hansen retaining possession. And then Mariner blocking Souness. Rush flicked it on, but first to the ball was Terry Butcher. Now Tyson. He got it back rather fortunately from Souness. O'Callaghan. Johnston in the way again. Osman. And O'Callaghan making progress past Johnston. And a useful cross too, with Mariner coming in, but before Paul Mariner could see the sight of the goal, Mark Lawrenson rose to knock it behind for the corner. But Ipswich making progress in their first attack. And it's O'Callaghan who's come across to take the corner. It was Osman who made contact, but never really in control. Hodgson. Here's Lee. Rush making the run, and Cooper committed. Unfortunately for Paul Cooper, Terry Butcher got his foot to the ball. Butcher was taking charge, even though the goalkeeper presumably had called. And it was the right decision from Terry Butcher. Hodgson. The ball sliding in. Hodgson felt that he was foul. Mr. Tyson just gives the throw, but here's Neil. Not easy for Cooper, but he judged it well enough. Brazil diverting it for O'Callaghan. And now Tyson did well to control it. Now trying to take on Souness. And what does the referee make of that? He's given Ipswich the free kick. And at the bottom of the picture you can see Terry Butcher coming forward for Ipswich. O'Callaghan over the ball. Ipswich have 4 making a move in the middle. Hodgson back defending for Liverpool. Putney going in, and now Osman! Well, it was hit on the half volley. It was certainly too close for Grobbelaar's comfort. Coming from O'Callaghan's free kick. Hodgson did well with the first header. Putney challenged for Ipswich. It dropped for Osman here. Lee providing the width. Hodgson. Souness involved here, and Hodgson again. Ipswich working hard between Sammy Lee and the goal to try and keep their marking tight. Here's Souness. Space for Neil. And now Johnston. Putney was the defender who committed himself, but Craig Johnston wanted too many touches, and that allowed Osman to clear. Johnston to take the throw. A header from Butcher, back for Johnston again. Well, he miscued it out. Mariner firmly laid off in the direction of Tyson. And Lee was turning and lost his bearings for a moment. Here's McCall. Walk will always get forward when he can. And Mariner slipping Souness. And again, Ipswich have got numbers forward. Tyson. But the final ball was a poor one from one of the better passers in the First Division, ironically. Dalglish. Hodgson to the right, and now veering into the middle, and Gernon, well, he slid in to turn it back to Cooper. Gernon, the key defender involved, as Dalglish looked to play the ball inside him. Have a way forward here with O'Callaghan. Souness. The early ball from Kennedy for Hodgson, nicely guided down for Lee. It certainly swerved, but it was from the type of distance that goalkeepers don't expect to be beaten from. Neil. Lee. Hodgson walking across the full width of the pitch, and he did well with the first time cross. And Walk! So nearly an own goal. John Walk, who's made something of a career about arriving in penalty areas undetected. He turned the ball back here. Cooper had to make the save, but in fact play was pulled back. The original ball down the line for Hodgson to chase had curved out of play. McCall stopped by a combination of Lee and Neil. Dalglish took an unusual extra touch and allowed Gernon to come in behind him. Lawrenson trying to make an extra man in midfield. Dalglish. Lawrenson's gone on. Johnston. Oh, the feet were high by Tyson. That's the Dutch Tyson, and referee George Tyson has given an indirect free kick for dangerous play right on the edge of the area. Ipswich have a six-man wall, and Liverpool have four players over the ball. Souness trying to distract a little, and it's set up for Kennedy. And Tyson, who gave away the free kick, was first out to block it. Kennedy. Johnston. And Souness. Well, it was an imaginative effort. Lawrenson. Butcher plugs the gap in the middle. And Trevor Putney there has really pushed into midfield to keep an eye on Johnston, and that's worked well too for Ipswich. But here's Neil and Dalglish and Rush. I think the referee would have given a goal kick, but the linesman was already on his way round to take up his position on the goal line to suggest the corner. Kennedy. Souness loitering with some intent here. Putney seemed to make contact with the back of Johnston. Not enough to worry the referee. Certainly seemed to put Johnston off his jump. And O'Callaghan trying to just get distance forward, running the ball out of play. Well, Hansen sees everyone marked further forward of him. This is Lawrenson. Dalglish comes short. Osman comes with him too tightly and unfairly. And Paul Mariner, I think, is being singled out here for not going back the full distance. Mariner's name goes into the book. Foolish to continue the argument. Lee, and good save by Cooper. It was the side of the goal that the wall should be covering, but Lee found a way past that wall. Through it, in fact, and Cooper did well. Here's Johnston. In from Kennedy. Good header from Dalglish, well met by Butcher. Lee. We're into time that George Tyson wants to add on at the end of the first half, only a second or two of that. But an interesting first half tactically. Ipswich have come here with just 3 defenders at the back and packing midfield, and Russell Osman, one of those 3, has had a fine first 45 minutes to frustrate Liverpool. A half-time score at Anfield. It's Liverpool 0, Ipswich Town 0. Only Luton and Manchester United have got even a draw here in the last 11 months, since Liverpool last lost a home game. That's a run of 28 games, 26 of which have been won. Gives some indication of Ipswich's achievement in keeping the game scoreless in the first half. And they have the first free kick of the second half to be taken by Butcher. Reaches O'Callaghan. Now Putney. Walk. Bring Putney in again. It was well played by Ipswich. Putney still battling forward and couldn't quite find the shot at the end of a really inventive run. Hansen. Asking Johnston to chase. It's always easier for Butcher than for Rush. Souness was taken late by Franz Tyson, but the foul really wasn't delivered with any great malice. Rightly, Liverpool had the free kick. And it crept past Osman, almost into the path of Hodgson. Something of a hopeful ball in from Craig Johnston towards the near post. Mariner got the better of the bounce and the better of Hansen, temporarily at least. O'Callaghan. Walks, got into the area. Behind him, McCall poised to make a jump. And here's Tyson on McCall, took the extra touch. Brazil. Good work off the ball by McCall. Tyson, here is Steve McCall. Hansen, a control clearance for Dalglish. Only 2 ahead of Lee for Liverpool. Hodgson is 1. He's faced by a pair of defenders there who've done duty for England, Ross Losman and Terry Butcher. Kennedy. This nicked it initially from Souness. Brazil was offside. But Ipswich will be sensing that there might be possibilities in playing away through this square defence. Teams, of course, have been thinking that for years. Picked off again by Butcher. Dalglish. Walk in close attendance, set up for Kennedy. Again the curve on the shot. Again Cooper able to reposition. But plenty to admire in the back heel here from Dalglish to create the shooting opening. And Putney slipped, and that could perhaps be costly for Ipswich. Souness has Dalglish in space. And well held initially, it seemed, by Cooper. But when he did fumble, Rush had got him too close to the goalkeeper. Souness after the slip by Trevor Putney. Dalglish found the angle widening here. And Cooper survived a belated fumble. The easiest one for Brazil to deal with. Neal. Then away by Lawrenson. On from Rush. And it's a little scrappy, but Liverpool have it with Hodgson, and now Rush. Ipswich feel that Ian Rush dived. The free kick is given right on the edge. Liverpool feel that they should have had a penalty. I think the first question here was whether Rush was actually fouled or whether it was a dive. He seemed to be caught, but the contact was just outside. But problems here for Ipswich, who have pulled everyone back. Rush certainly fell into the area, but the point of contact was on the edge. It's Dalglish, splendidly executed. Ipswich will wonder about whether the free kick should have been given. Liverpool will celebrate the way that they took it. Kennedy over the ball, and Dalglish found a way around the wall. The goal coming 20 minutes into the second half, after 65 minutes of Liverpool frustration. And it took a touch of class to find a way past Ipswich. Call. Tyson, and it was Putney in the middle. Tyson again. Grobbelaar palmed it out, and it's Dalglish in the right spot again for Liverpool. Here's Lee. Play on as Lee went down, fell by Butcher. Dalglish let fly. Well, one moment he was scoring, the next moment he was back in a crucial defensive position for Liverpool, as for a moment the league champions lost their concentration. And the goal has forced a change in Ipswich's plan. Mitch Davray, who scored the winner against Liverpool at Portman Road back in October, will replace Trevor Putney. Davray, a striker, and he passes on the rethink from manager Bobby Ferguson to Paul Mariner. Liverpool's throw. Really anxious to keep the game flowing. Liverpool psychologically in the ascendant, as well as on the score sheet. Lee. Butcher, it was a difficult bounce for him. To that extent, he coped with it well. McCall, Lee working at him, forcing the mistake. McCall got it back and coolly kept the ball with Ipswich with the pass to O'Callaghan. And Davray against Kennedy. Corner, but Liverpool in danger of being caught lacking in concentration then. And Ronnie Whelan is called on. The substitution that Liverpool have made in the last 3 games now. Craig Johnston comes off, Whelan replaces him. And it was Mariner who attacked the ball, but couldn't direct the header. And today's attendance just 24 under 35,000. Kennedy. There's Walk's tackle. Hansen. Souness looking for Rush. And Souness. Butcher stopped the threat of the shot, but Hodgson, the linesman is flagging. No goal. It looked, first of all, as though the danger to the Ipswich goal would come directly from Souness. But then he turned, but Hodgson had strayed offside. Walk. Now O'Callaghan. Osman is forward. Mariner's calling for it to be played to the far post. But time has run out for Ipswich Town. And whatever strategy you come here with, Liverpool seem to find a way around it. Today, a touch of magic at a set piece from Kenny Dalglish, the difference between the two sides. And Ipswich unable to prevent a 10th successive victory for Liverpool, continuing their perfect sequence of results in 1983. A final score at Anfield, it's Liverpool 1, Ipswich 0, but what a hard-fought victory it was.
Well, Ipswich going the way of most visiting teams at Anfield, but possibly more disappointed than most in view of their optimism beforehand.
We thought today was the best time to come and beat them today, because we've heard that they're sitting waiting to get beat, if you like. They're on the threshold of losing, I feel, Liverpool at the moment. We felt that we had a chance to win today.
Threshold because their form has been a bit vulnerable, or just because the run's gone so long?
I think it's gone so long now. I think they're starting to get a little bit edgy and tend to be waiting to get beat.